on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin J.
You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J.
Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. Vitamin J.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got
All
what you need.
alone.
Vitamin J. Ayy.
You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J.
Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. Vitamin J. Vitamin J. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside
Got what you
looking
need.
in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside. All alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin J.
You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J.
Hey, final round. I already know how I'm coming, man.
Tryna run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we tote all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mad struck start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they love how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the gang, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Let me go with the gang, we all go insane, catching them bills on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP.
Take over the West and the East, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G.
Well, go continue eating that carrot.
No, I just finished. Let me just make sure we're good.
I don't eat carrots anymore.
I do, man. I'm trying to be healthy, bruh. All right, let me.
Whack it. you even choose the whack vegetable.
Oh man, y'all cannot get off my case. What's going on, everybody?
He wants to see in the dark. Leave the man alone.
Oh man, trying to be healthy. This guy is health shaming me, man. Saying ain't so.
I will gatekeep vegetables for you.
Oh,
like
man.
Carrots, you just like cucumbers,
Man can't eat
like celery.
It's just like a quick snack, man. I'm trying to change it up a little bit. But anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, what's going on, everybody? This your boy FC Vine. We back again with another weekly dose and a Vitamin G Gaming Podcast. You already know what it is. Before we get started, I have to introduce my esteemed panel. Dante Crisis, what's going on with you, bro? What you been up to?
Not much. Aside from my anxiety and panic attacks flaring up again in the last 7 days, which is unfortunate. But aside from that, finished Aliens Fireteam Elite. If you want and I will say this right now, because we were just talking about this, do not take Metacritic review scores, like user review scores, do not take them at all seriously. Because right now, just as a point out of 59 ratings on PC, it has a 5.8. Okay, but if we look over on Steam, where people can actually fucking review games, it has an 84% out of 8,872 reviews. Fireteam Elite is a fun horde shooter. Like, it's not trying to say any profound message. It's not trying to do any of that. It's just a game that wants to be fun. So if you want that, buy Fireteam Elite, because it seems like they're also dedicated. I don't know if they're going to go World War Z kind of route, where they're going to add additional campaigns onto it later on, or if they're sequel baiting with the ending of that. But they're clearly dedicated to adding more content, because they've already added a new class to it, the Phalanx class, which is basically a big giant shield class. So yes, it's fun, and it can be challenging on a higher difficulty. I dread knowing what this is going to be like on insane mode. You need to work as a team, which clearly the world is not ready to do so. Aside from that, I actually got back into playing World War Z, playing the last 3 campaigns for it, the Paris levels, Rome, and the Eastern Russian lands. On top of that, for Halloween, I am also playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which I must be desensitized as a motherfucker, because that game is not scary.
Nice. All right, man. Omar, man, what's going on with you, bro? And I heard you had your first podcast, man. So
Yeah.
tell the people.
Sorry,
what's
side note.
All right, go ahead.
Side
Yeah.
note, I also did the controller buy for the Nintendo Direct with Reggie, and we had a lot of fun with that, didn't we, Reggie?
Yeah, I'm
Great time.
gonna need you guys to go over that because I completely missed the Nintendo joint. So we'll do that after this. But shout out to my guy Omar for first, for being you, and second, I know you had your first podcast, man. So first, tell the people what you've been up to, and promote that a little bit. And how did it go?
Yeah, so first of all, good to be here. I had my first podcast with Kofi, Nate, Weep Sheriff, he's Rhizome, and Kay. And yeah, we just talked about gaming. We talked about what's called a new game versus old games. What's better? Which would you go for? In sense of retro games and stuff like that. And we talked about AI. Not per se Deathloop AI injection, but more like a person defending the bad AI that we've seen on screen. And he was like, yeah, I'm good with it because I want to feel powerful. We talked about that. It was a great conversation. Also, we had a nice conversation about JRPG. What's happening with it? Why we're seeing less and less JRPGs.
The
going.
Nintendo Switch tends to disagree with you on that one.
Can you let me speak?
No.
Go ahead, man. Omar, go ahead.
Why are JRPGs going more and more the route of turn, leaving more and more the route of turn-based and going more into more actiony? We talked about that, and that was an interesting conversation. So all by all, it was a very, very fun conversation, and can't wait for next week, which is going to be at the same day, which is Saturday, but instead of it being 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I did that because of coffee. Our normal time is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Nice. Okay, Saturday. You said Saturday at 6. What's the name of the show?
That's a good question. I still have no name for it. I have no idea. You told me Jubei came up with your name, with your show name.
Yeah.
How long did it took you guys to create one? Cause mine, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna name it.
Yeah, just ask your panel members, man. I don't know. Jubei thought of it like
Dude,
within like an hour.
my panel members are wild as fuck, dude. One thing, name it the something podcast in a joking way. One thing, name it Abracadabra. I'm like, yeah.
That's not bad.
Oh my god. Yeah, you say not my bad, not bad. One person said that sounded like ASEAN, what did he say? Happy ending massage. I'm like, dude, I give up. Yeah, so might
PlayStation
go,
podcast.
I
There
might
you go.
I might go with Caraba and Co. or off-air podcast.
That's not
I'll
off air
see.
or Caraba time or anything
Nah,
like that.
Caraba
Oh, you
because
like the PlayStation.
what I not PlayStation centric, so I
I can't help but be with you as the host.
I'm gonna put the link in chat. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week.
The Order of United Ponies. There you go.
Nah, listen. I mean, they're throwing shots. I think it's cool that you starting your own thing, man.
That
Yeah,
wasn't a shot.
because-
I wasn't. He's very he's very Sony centric. So
It would not be any different
Lean
if you were to
into
start. If you were to start your own show, Pharaoh. What do you think it'd be? It'd be about analytics and finance. about Microsoft. So it would
If
be.
I'm starting my own gaming podcast, I don't know what it'd be about.
I just
We
told you
just
what it'd
talk
be
shit.
about. It'd be about stocks. It'd be about Game Pass numbers. It'd be about
No,
Madden.
that's what you guys asked me.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
man, yo,
I'd
it's all
watch it in a heartbeat
there. It
because it's
is.
Pharaoh.
There it is. But anyway, man, salute to Omar, man. I wish you success, bro. Keep
Yeah,
doing
I
your
want
thing.
to say one thing.
go ahead.
Part of the reason why I decided to start, I have been thinking about doing this for a while now. And
Yeah, we know.
one thing that motivated me is you have none other than J Body and Persona
Yeah.
having, what's his name? Sean Layden next week on their show.
That's
Like,
badass.
that's massive.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So that made me think. Yeah, I wanna do my own stuff. I wanna see where I can go with it. And I have a few panel members that are massive when it comes to their gaming knowledge, and one of them is strictly neutral. So very hard to find this gaming street.
That's good, man. What you want to stay away from is definitely echo chambers. You definitely want at least one, maybe two, to counter any common notion that you may have. So if you have someone that's more like a little bit more neutral, that's good because it helps with the conversation. But all right, man, that's what's up, man. Definitely check out my guy Omar. You said 6 p.m. Eastern time every Saturday, so check him out. The International Podcast. You feel me? Let's continue on with the rest of the panel. My guy Pharaoh. What's going on with you, bro? I know I've been watching some of your streams, man. How's that been going, my G?
Streaming's going good. It's basically if I'm playing, I'm streaming for the most part. So yeah, I do a couple streams during the week. Broadcasts on Twitter, not Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube.
Nice.
I'm not as hardcore as Dante. Dante can put in them hours, man. But we have a good time.
That's what's up, man.
Like to chat with people when they come through.
Did you capture the Mech Warrior joint at all?
Yeah, Mech Warrior 5. Yeah, we did a VGP stream. What is it? Saturday night. Me, Kofi, and FC, and yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
If
it.
only I owned
I
Mech Warrior
hate
5.
the mech movement, but it's all good. It's all good.
You just gotta get used to it, man. It was mad fun though. I wish I had a little bit more time in it, man.
I
But
don't
definitely-
like that the torso movement and the robot movement are two different movements. Like it messes with me. But I do like the variety of mechs and the customization. It's a lot of things to like about the game, but me personally, I don't care for the movement. I'll get used to it, and
Fair enough.
It'll become second nature. But that's my only grade.
So you got to
It's a
think
fun game.
you got to think about it. It kind of moves kind of like a tank. You know what I mean? Like where you control the turret, and the torso is like basically the turret if you think about it. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how it is. But that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Last but not
No,
least,
but like when I turn the torso and I'm expecting to like walk a certain way,
Mhm.
and I'm not. It's especially like when you're going with the outside camera angle, you're not doing the cockpit camera angle.
Yeah.
It just like really messes with me. Like whichever way my body's facing, that's the way I'm used to walking.
yeah.
My upper half.
It's wherever your feet is facing, my G. But that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I know there should be a couple more coming in. I don't know if Kofi's coming in or not, but I think
No, Kofi can't make it today because he actually have an what's called a meeting
okay.
to gather to talk about the game that he's going to translate.
Oh yeah. He was talking about that. That's not.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Jube's on his way.
Yeah, Jube's coming. But last but not least, man, my guy Zero, man, what you been up to, my G?
What is going on, good people? Nothing much, man. Still pretty much in the world of Deathloop. Absolutely enjoying the game. It's a great time. I now see the things about AI that people were talking about. AI is ginormously stupid.
Yeah.
But like, it's okay. Like,
You know what? It's either the AI or is ginormously stupid, or they're upset because it's killing them too much and the game's too hard. Like people gotta pick a side.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's
I haven't
no,
played it
Like
yet,
the
so
AI stuff.
no. When
I'm
you
just talking about AI in general. Like people complain that like the AI is dumb, but then when the AI is good, they complain that the game's too hard.
That's
Like,
true.
people gotta, like,
No. I actually disagree with that for one simple reason. There's a thing called easy mode. You wanna play with a simple AI? Choose easy mode. Like the AI, I've seen like literally. I don't know if you experienced it, Zero. I have video of a person literally shooting an enemy with a shotgun to the face. He turned back and he walked away like nothing happened. Like that's not stupid AI. That's brain dead AI, broken AI. Even so.
It actually sounds like the game itself, or at least that part of the game itself, was broken. Considering like the shot, I pretty much one shot every person I come across. The faceless goons who you kill in Deathloop aren't strong. Like it's not a stronger health thing. They shoot pretty quickly, so they can like melt you faster, but they aren't physically strong. Like one shot or two shots will pretty much take them down, particularly with the power weapons. So it's probably doesn't sound like an AI problem. Is like that might be a glitched game problem. Which is to say, like again, it's not like the AI Deathloop is particularly smart, but like there is no smart AI in video gaming.
no, not yet.
To be completely honest, and no one would want that. It like that's too.
no,
It's too
people don't
much.
want good AI. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
Yeah, like probably more capable and like who use better strategies, but like
It's what they're programmed to do.
yeah, but good AI, like what we want is learning AI, and it's like
Yeah,
no,
Doesn't exist.
You don't want machine learning AI. You get your ass whooped.
Yeah,
I mean,
machine
would you,
learning
like,
AI
take
will
more-
never be in games.
Yeah, because they'll do machine learning AI and somebody like Microsoft connect that shit to the cloud and you will never finish a game.
No, because Skynet will take over.
That too. I mean, that Terminator shit might actually come to fruition, but
Because they do that with Forza. They do the cloud learning where it learns how you race and the races get harder.
Yeah, like the idea is to be creative, not necessarily to make it more human-like, because humans don't play fair.
no.
And like we want a game to be fair, but if it were me and I was the AI in Call of Duty, I would camp the whole time.
Like humans would.
Yeah, like a human would. And I was like, why do I need to run out and do anything? I'll just
Yeah.
camp and wait till you have to come get me. And like that does, for a fun game, that does not make.
Have you been rated yet?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times. So I've been rated and I've rated other people. That's
Okay.
the really cool part about it. I finally unlocked that.
So how's that dynamic versus if you were just doing it, I guess, outside? Because I know Omar's talking about AI, and you're saying AI is pretty, dumb, whatever. They're not superior, but you also, if you're playing online, you have an opportunity to get rated by a human, which completely changes the whole landscape. Correct?
It does. So the raid is Juliana, and like they can come in, and most people are familiar with like how it operates in Dark Souls. So essentially, what happens is you'll get a notification like Juliana has appeared, and what it does is it locks you from leaving the level.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only way you can reopen leaving the level is to go and hack this antenna. More often than not, the Juliana will be somewhere posted around the antenna waiting for you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And so essentially what she can do is ruin a run, because Deathloop really is like a roguelite. Like true and true to its very core, it is like you have to die. It's just the aspect of the game. So, you're on a run, you're like, okay, I've killed 2 visionaries, I got a couple slabs, I got some residuum, I'm looking good, and then a Juliana comes and kills you and you lose it all.
Okay.
The only thing I've seen weird people do is like I don't necessarily like the idea that people are camping, because when you play as Juliana, you don't lose it, like it's nothing. Like all you do is gain. You don't lose anything by getting killed. You just lose the match and then you start over again.
Right.
But people kind of play her really cautiously, which just seems odd considering like there's no penalty to losing.
Oh no, they're taking the Dark Souls approach, because hearing this, my only fucking concern is the connection and internet connection as bad as it is in Dark Souls? Because in my Dark Souls free playthrough, I've been raided a handful of times, and all of the encounters have involved with me attacking somebody while they're rolling, it registering a hit like it shows the blood coming off of them like I hit them, but they take no fucking damage because the internet connection is just so fucking ass. And I'm talking about because it's peer to peer and like it's just not stable whatsoever. Is it like that in Deathloop?
I have not experienced that yet. So far, when I shoot her, like she gets shot.
Yeah.
And dies, or vice versa.
Right. So no. Then what you're dealing with is what people who have been playing Dark Souls, Bloodborne for years have dealt with, and that is assholes. They are there. They're not there to have fun. They are there to specifically fuck you over.
Yeah. Yeah. And now, granted, like essentially, the longer Juliana stays alive, like the more points she gets, which leads to like you can unlock more of her arsenal as you play. But like so do kills. And she's got her own like personal, like she can disguise herself as one of the random enemies. She can lay traps down, all that sort of stuff. So it becomes, finding her and then, trying to survive after you find her.
Yeah, I 1 second because I couldn't understand anything.
My bad, I didn't realize I was unmuted. My bad.
Yeah, he's watching
Because
the game.
of the back noise.
Yeah.
Can you repeat everything? Sorry about that.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's just that Juliana comes with her own set of gear and skills. So part of it is, like, the longer you stay alive, the more points you get to unlock more things. And the more kills on Cole you get, the more you can do that, and all these other type of things. But, like, it's still... There's no particular penalty if you lose, other than you just got to go find another game.
Yep.
Like, it's not like, haha, you lost, and there's no KD, there's no rank. You're just Juliana messing with Cole. Cole's the only person who has something to lose.
Yeah, like I said, you are just this will eventually devolve into the only people who will invade you or people who will give a shit about invading you are going to be people who are there just to fuck with you.
Yeah. And because it's early, it's challenging for me to tell because even offline, Juliana will still occasionally invade your game. It's just the mechanic that she does. And you can generally kind of tell like a computer from a human player, but it also could just be a bad human player.
Yeah.
So like it's interesting.
This is one of those problems that I have with invader type things. It was one of the problems I had. Luckily, it got cancelled. It was one of my biggest concerns when it came to. Do you remember the battle mode? They were gonna add an invasion angle kind of thing to Doom Eternal. Do you remember them announcing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that got cancelled. That was my biggest concern with that because what all of that will eventually boil down to is you'll find maybe that one occasional player who is actually just there to, have a straight up fight just for the fun of it. It will devolve into griefers, and then all that's left is it's populated by fucking hackers because that is what. No joke. That's effectively what all of Dark Souls 2 is covered in now. Is just fucking hackers invading you.
All right, man. So let me continue on in here before we get to our actual topic. Jubei, man, what's going on with you, bro? What you been up to? I know he's watching the game, so I'll probably move on if you want to chime in. All right. So let's get into. I don't know. I guess we can talk about Nintendo for who here actually watched the Nintendo Direct. So I know Dante and Reggie. All right, so let's just go with that. So from the Nintendo Direct, I'm gonna go to Reggie first. Did it meet up to your expectation? Because Nintendo's been quiet for a while, man. Any takeaways, and what would you rate the show?
I don't know. I guess ratings are hard. Like I'll start with like an 8, maybe 9. No, about an 8.
But understand this is coming from you as a Nintendo fan, right? You got to like.
Yeah. So for me, me personally, I could rate it like a 9. it showed a lot of stuff that I enjoyed. And one of the things that I thought was good is that I think the last Nintendo Direct, which revealed Metroid Dread, but it also had the Phoenix Wright in there and Famicom Detective Club. I think that one was a little bit too more focused on like people like me specifically. Who like I like the Phoenix Wright series and like those deep cuts of Nintendo things that a lot of other people are like, I don't particularly care. Like, where's Metroid? Where's Zelda? Where's Link? Where's Mario? So forth and so on. And they didn't really do that. I think this time around they did. I think they gave a little bit for everybody. It's the Wave 2 of the Zelda game. Bayo 3 got shown off. What else was there?
You want me to go over it real quick?
Metroid Dread.
Metroid Dread was shown a little bit more in depth actually. We got the Monster Hunter Rise expansion coming next year. Yes. Sunbreak, that was it. Disco Elysium, the final cut, was pretty much shown. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, Wave 2 of the expansion pass. Kirby the Forgotten Land was shown as well, which someone actually did the numbers. It is out of all of the original games for Nintendo, like Zelda, your base half.
You just Eagles bum ass quarterback just threw a pick. That's why.
Okay. Fair enough. So out of all of the franchise they own, Legend of Zelda, Mario, Kirby has taken the longest to get to 3D. I think it's 30 years. I think it's 30 years actually since it came out.
I have to interject real quick about that Kirby thing. What do you, both of you guys, mainly Reggie, what do you think about that meme about Kirby's like open world? Like, this game is Nintendo's $60 game and PlayStation's $40 AAA open world or AA open world. Like, have you seen those memes?
No, I'm assuming they're comparing to Kenna.
Yeah, that Kenna, exactly.
This
is Nintendo's first party, and this is Kenna.
Hold on. Let's hold on. I've also seen the opposite. I've seen Xbox slandering it, comparing it to Psychonauts 2.
Or that. I'm just saying that the memes comparing it.
That one.
I haven't seen that one either, but
I think, and it comes up in the conversation that I believe by when like people want Pokemon to look a certain way.
I see.
The Nintendo characters, like of all of them, maybe Samus and maybe Link can make the transition to like, let's look a bit more like Kenna. But Kirby he's always a cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't think he necessarily needs to look like Kenna. Let's be honest here, Kenna seems to be doing well, but I've seen a lot of people have issues with the game and bugs and everything.
Yeah.
That you don't get that with Kirby Epic Yarn.
It is pretty buggy. It is pretty buggy.
You're not getting that with Kirby. So like, we can talk about first party, but it's more than just what it looks like.
FC, look in our Twitter thread. There you go.
If we want to go down that route, then we can go down that route. And like, this is why like almost all Kirby games are sort of perfectly optimized.
To be fair,
little crashes.
Yeah. To be fair, Jordan did that. She's kind of a troll. Shout out to PMS Jordan.
It's all good. Like, it is what it is. But like, it's Kirby, and like, we all know what we're getting with Kirby, right? Like, he's an adorable little pink puffball who like eats things.
Yeah.
He's gonna always sort of look like that.
The most successful serial killer ever.
Yeah. And then, so what I liked about the show is that it just seemed, I think, if I think about everybody on this panel, I think there was something for everybody there. You've got like triangle strategy for maybe like
JRPG, a turn-based JRPG. Let us not forget.
I know we're not huge into it, but like FCU and I could probably go do some work in Splatoon 3. Like, if we were forced to go do it.
Wait a second, that's not a turn-based. That's a strategy.
But it's still turn-based.
That's like Disgaea. That's like Disgaea.
Do each sides take a turn?
Yeah, it's turn-based by default. it is formulated differently than say like Final Fantasy VII, but it's still literally, like as Dante's saying, like each tile does take a turn.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like Final Fantasy Tactics.
I have to interject
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
I have to, yeah, I was gonna say I have to interject. I was gonna.
But hold on, but the same strategy the same argument can literally be thrown at Fire Emblem Three Houses, where they literally call each time a turn.
Yeah, but you would classify that as strategy. To be fair, that's under the strategy. Oh my God, Dak.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Jesus.
I mean, okay. I mean, it feels like splitting hairs, but I got you. All right, that's cool. But triangle strategy, ActRaiser, which apparently I'd never like really was aware of, but it seems to be pretty interesting showing up. So like Dante was aware of it, could be there.
Oh yeah.
It feels like there was something for everyone, and even the new Nintendo Switch Online thing. Like, you want to go play Ocarina of Time? I know Jube's been mentioning that for a while. Now you can. Like
that was the highlight for me. Like being able to get a N64 controller in there and go back and play Ocarina. Yeah, I'm with that.
But don't you have to pay extra though? Like
yes, you do.
You do.
Yes,
yeah, it's gonna cost you more.
And it's most likely going to be the same. I want to throw a little cold water on that when my time comes.
Yeah, but Reggie, does that bother you at all? Like, I mean, because you are the stereotypical Nintendo fan. Like, you see that like it's hype. Like, Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games of all time. But knowing that they're kind of doing the bare minimum, like they could have added that to the service without adding extra, in my opinion. But you're cool with that.
No, make no mistake. Like, I'll never forgive them for getting rid of the Virtual Console.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, what the fuck?
It is the greatest thing I think they have ever done, and to this date, no other system has or other company I think has matched what Nintendo did with the Virtual Console. Not Game Pass, not PS Now, not anybody. Like, it was a it was a murderer's row of like the greatest games of your childhood, and they just scrapped it. They just said, we don't do it anymore, which is one of my biggest problems with Nintendo and a lot of their properties. They do one thing one time and stop doing it. So I understand. They're like the Nintendo Online thing because it's a small handful of games. Dante pointed out that like the Sega collection is fundamentally worthless, considering like you can get that literally just about anywhere else for much cheaper, and you get to have them for forever.
Yeah.
So like this specifically is for the people who made the NES Mini a hit.
Gotcha.
It's for those folks who, aren't aware that you can go buy that entire Sega collection somewhere else. And we're just like, I got my Switch. I can play Sonic on it now. That's cool. I can also play Super Mario 3D. That's awesome. Never got to play Ocarina of Time, but I played Breath of the Wild, so maybe I'll go back and play this one. That's dope. I worry about the pricing.
Yes, there is no pricing. We don't know.
I really hope they don't like jack this thing up to an absurd price point.
Know.
Because
we gotta pay for that Banjo-Kazooie license, yo.
Because Switch Online is pretty cheap.
What's your take on that additional subscription service?
That's what we've been talking about. Yeah. So again, I don't particularly mind it. I am cautious of it, and I'll be eyeing it. I'll probably get it because there are some games I do want to play. But what I hope that they kind of fill it in the same way that they do the SNES and Nintendo now, where there's a lot of just like obscure games that I'm not too well versed in most of the obscure games from NES and SNES, but I am from the 64. So
I still have my N64, so
same.
But like now,
I wish I still had it.
Come through, Reggie. Come through. That's all I gotta say, man.
I mean, I like the online thing. I think that's kind of cool. So it's like you can play Star Fox online. I'm wondering if they'll bring back GoldenEye.
If you can't co-op online, then
you can. No, you can. No, they already confirmed that you can co-op online, and
I didn't watch the show, so that's why I asked.
Yeah. A majority of what they're launching this with is going to be up to 4-person co-op games. Like Star Fox is going to be online co-op. I believe it is. A number of them are going to be.
Yeah, there was a number of them that were.
Yeah.
All right.
So like they're there.
What was your
you know,
what was your best take of the show though? Like, what was your best game that been like, wow, like your wow moment? Like, PlayStation was Wolverine. What was yours?
I want to say Bayo, but like I knew she was coming.
No, you
I
didn't.
just didn't know
no,
when.
you fucking didn't.
Nah,
I got receipts.
nobody did.
We were going over it. Like we were going through it. We speculated maybe Bayonetta's showing up. We got near the end. We're like Bayonetta's not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to the last one, and we were umming and ahhing over that last one because we initially thought, I initially said it's Bayonetta, but then they started talking in Japanese. And if you know a lot of Platinum Games marketing, they do a lot of their dialogue in English. So I was like, this is not Bayonetta 2. Then I was thinking, then we thought Astral Chain 2, which would have been fucking sweet, which it confirmed it when they showed the fucking mascot. And then the bullets started flying. I was like, no, it is Bayonetta. We were umming and ahhing it until we actually fucking saw her.
Yes, I was completely wrong because I was all over the place with just all the clues. But what I meant by particularly because FC said the Wolverine moment.
Oh,
and
right,
that's why I couldn't count Bayo because
Gotcha.
like I didn't know she might be coming this show, but I knew Bayo 3 was coming. Period.
Oh yeah, definitely. We knew it was definitely coming.
So I would guess, arguably, it's probably ActRaiser.
Yes.
Like the full remake of a game that I wasn't completely like. I'd heard about it like in the back of my mind. Like I think this game sounds familiar, but it's like a full-on remaster or recreation. Remake of this game
out now.
And so I was like, well, that seems interesting. I'm excited for that, and that's new. My sleeper hit is probably Voice of Cards. I think, but when Dante asked the question last week about are things sort of all the same or people not being creative, like what a creative and unique way to take on a JRPG.
Yep.
By having everything be a card. And even as you move through the world, it's all cards. So as you're in the open world, you flip over cards to reveal the next land, and that's how you maneuver through. And it still operates like your basic JRPG where you get random enemy battles, but it's fully voice acted, so it's giving me like Supergiant games, the guys from Hades, Transistor, Bastion. So I'm like, they fully voice acted this thing. It's really interesting. It's really unique. I've never seen anything really like this before.
Hold on.
And it kind of came out of nowhere.
Right, real quick. Like I said, I got to go back and check out that game. But you're saying it's a card-based game, a JRPG?
A card-based turn-based RPG game.
Now,
yes.
is the card-based based on like is it based on like packs, like Yu-Gi-Oh type of stuff? Or
no, this was all these. What everything I can already tell. Everything you're about to ask was my concern, which Reggie already. That's
because you said card-based. I'm like, I don't like.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. What it's the actual aesthetic is all cards.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That sounds dope.
Yeah. So like, if I'm thinking like think of there's a demo. Like think of an overworld in the basic JRPG. It was like green grass, right? Well, every patch of grass is literally just a card.
Oh, okay.
And as you walk through. So when you go into town, all people is a card. Your characters are cards. The items that you hold are actual cards. Everything is the entire aesthetic is an actual card, and it still operates like a basic JRPG.
Man, that's
a lot of all cards.
That's a lot of like art pieces though for like those individual cards.
And it shows because the Switch is not this game, and if it comes out on other systems, probably will run a bit. And PC, it's probably going to run a bit better on PC. What I noticed is just that the movement is like you move this sort of like, for lack of a better term, it looks like a chess piece, and that's like your marker to show like here's where I'm moving to.
Yeah.
And it can kind of be slow because it's like
it has to render all those cards.
Yes, you move, flip the cards. You move, flip the cards. You move, flip the cards. And I was like, okay, Switch, you're struggling a little bit to continuously do this. So if anybody's ever played Pokemon Unite, it's similar to that. The menu just feels just a bit sluggish. That like everywhere else is probably going to be a bit faster.
Also, what might interest everybody about this is the director of it is Yoko Taro, the man behind Nier Automata, and Nier Replicant. Same dude.
All right, man. That's what's up, man. Any other takes, Reggie, before I give it to Dante?
No, I'd say if you haven't seen the show, check it out, or just check the highlights. You don't have to watch the whole thing.
Go watch my stream.
Go watch Dante's stream. Very excited for Monster Hunter Sunbreak because once again Capcom is killing it, and if Sunbreak is anywhere near as expansive as Iceborne was, they're Monster Hunter fans are going to be in for a real treat.
Yeah. All right, man. And you said you gave the score a 9? 9 Reggies out of 10?
Yeah, sure. I'll keep my 9. I'll stand in my 9.
All right. So the best show, I think that's the highest score you've given. So all right, Dante, man. What's your take? Also being a Nintendo fan, but maybe not as hardcore as Reggie. You saw the show. You guys had the stream.
Yeah.
Takeaways.
I would say I'd give it a 7. And I actually have a couple of reasons why I give it a 7. First of all,
that's pretty high.
Nintendo has seemingly mastered the art of clickbait now at this point and trolling, because 3 damn occasions. First of all, the opening of this stream, like the title card said, it would be predominantly focused on games coming out this winter. Majority of it was not, which is hilarious. And then there was 2 announcements for 2 other streams. There was the announcement for the stream to announce the final Smash character, and a announcement for a stream to announce new Animal Crossing content. I'm not kidding. That was weird. It was like, I feel like I've just got bait and switched here, and I feel dirty. I feel like a whore has not been paid at this point. Like that was kind of like, you could have just put this out on Twitter, and it would have just put a video announcement on Twitter or something, and you would have gotten just as many eyes on it, in my opinion. And word of mouth would have spread about it. So that kind of knocked it down a couple of points, just for me. Because nothing else in because we know these streams are going to happen now, but we learn nothing else about these streams, just that these streams are going to happen. Me and Reggie, as far as the last Smash character, have two suggestions. It's either going to be Waluigi for the most long-term troll ever, or it's going to be the director himself, just to fuck with everybody. But yeah, Monster Hunter Rise was a fantastic announcement. I'm glad that Capcom's continuing killing it as far as supporting their games. Remember when developers actually put a lot of substantial content into their games at once and only asked you for a little bit of money instead of asking you for lots of money time and time and time again for these little cosmetics, and then give you basically fuck all in return? Yeah, great fucking days. I remember those days.
Dante, real quick, I don't mean to cut. Just a quick question. Michael Rexecutioner had Rexekeki said, he said, I haven't seen Nintendo Direct, but these N64 games coming to Switch, are they straight ports or remasters?
Neither. They're emulations. I will get to that in 2 seconds. Gotcha. This is where I want to dunk the cold water on it.
Wow.
So Disco Elysium, the final cut, great. I'm glad Switch is getting it, but what else is really going to be new there? Because everybody who is anybody's probably played Disco Elysium. Anybody who's buying it on Switch is most likely double dipping at this point. So feed the masses. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. I'm glad that this is getting a expansion pass. I'm glad Nintendo still believes in expansion passes. Again, remember actually supporting your game with actionable, good content afterwards. My only thing is finish the goddamn expansion pass and I'll buy it. Thank you. Kirby's Forgotten Land. That was a surprise to me. That one was my Wolverine moment, because there has been to my knowledge, there's been no rumblings about any kind of Kirby game coming out. Like, none whatsoever. There's not been a fucking peek. And then the moment when they finally announce a new Kirby game, not only is it in 3D, but they give us a full-length trailer to show us literally everything. Like, they actually give us enough to, like, they give us enough to make our mind up if we're going to buy this or not. And Kirby looks fucking adorable in 3D. Absolutely adorable, especially when he goes bug-eyed. That's adorable. Again, the most successful serial killer in video games. Triangle strategy. Again, I will give Square Enix this small little kudos. They released the demo over a year ago. And guess what? Unlike today's betas where they ask for your feedback with no fucking time whatsoever to be able to implement any changes based on player feedback, they've given people a whole year to give them feedback, and they have a bunch of time to be able to implement these changes, which they already have, which is fantastic.
Any idea how?
What? Yeah, they showed it on the They actually broke down all of the changes that they've made.
Okay, gotcha.
One of the changes that wasn't in the demo that they're implementing is actually a rotating camera, which was apparently a big complaint. So obviously, with it being multi-layered isometric 2D characters, that you can actually now turn the camera completely around to be able to see all vantage points, which was, like I said, apparently not in the demo. That just an example of things they changed from player feedback, which is great. Splatoon 3, I'm glad we saw more of Splatoon 3. My only disappointment from Splatoon 3 is I kind of wanted a bit more mayhem, because they're sticking with 4v4, which for a game like Splatoon works, but I would have liked maybe like the chaos of 6v6 in those small maps, like custom maps. Let me get 6 people in here and let it just be absolute fucking anarchy. Like, I want pandemonium in this. I want paint everywhere. Castlevania Advance Collection. I don't know why this exists. Because the games that are going to be on here are Circle of the Moon, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, and Dracula X. But not even the original Dracula X. So I just question why Konami's pumping this out, but I can only imagine it's because somebody out there is going to buy it. But maybe there's some diehard Castlevania fans out there for this. I just kind of wish we could have got like Symphony of the Night or the original Rondo of Blood on the Switch.
Dante, when you mentioned that, I was looking around. It looks like the diehards are actually excited for this.
Makes sense. It makes sense. The diehards would be. The diehards would be, but like for someone like me, like that Castlevania collection doesn't interest me as much as the Castlevania collection we've gotten previously with 1, 2, and 3. Because that one interests me more. Right, now for the Nintendo Online stuff. So as Reggie mentioned when we did this live, I mentioned, and I even broke it down, all but one of the Mega Drive games that will be released on the new online service update, you can buy in the Sega Mega Collection on the PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC. And even on PC, I've mentioned.
Real quick though, Mega Drive's the UK version, in the American
yes,
the Genesis, right?
Yes, it's the Genesis.
Again, just like it's the master system.
Yeah, thank you.
No. The Master Systems are completely over here in the UK. The Master System is a completely different console. That's the console that came out before the Genesis, before the Mega Drive.
Right.
I'm trying to think. So the US version of the Mega Drive is what?
The US version of the Mega Drive is called the Genesis.
Thank you. That's what I thought, Genesis. All right. Yeah. I just wanted for those who are not
in
the UK.
But Jubei said the Master System. But over here, the Master System was the first console the first cartridge system Sega released before the Genesis.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, any potato could fucking run the Sega Mega Collection. It really could, and it's only missing one game and has all the same capabilities. Like online multiplayer. You can play games like Gunstar Heroes online for a one-off payment of, I think, like less than $10. So, like, this is clearly for people. This stuff is clearly for people who don't know the outside world exists.
Question: is he echoing for you or
Who? Dante? No, Dante.
Dante?
Nah, he sounds
I'm
good.
hearing a little bit an echo. Bit more echo after he talked. Now it's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. He sounded good to me. All right, Dante.
All right.
Any other
hold on. Yeah, the as far as the Nintendo N64 stuff, this is what everybody needs to be concerned about. Like, dramatically concerned about. They are not remastering or really porting. It's more emulation so they can get the online capabilities. It's the same they did with the N64 and the Super Nintendo stuff. Here's what people need to really be concerned about. Games on the N64 that were noticeable for sprite lag, like Super Ghouls and Ghosts, still have that sprite lag on the Nintendo Switch.
What's that?
It basically means slow down. Sprite lag is basically a modern term for low FPS, like the FPS goes right into the damn toilet.
Gotcha.
That still happens on the Super Nintendo games that have it, like Super Ghouls and Ghosts. N64 had a lot of games that this happened to. For the most extreme example, GoldenEye 64 was notorious for low FPS. That's most likely going to happen with this N64 these N64 releases on the Switch, because they're just straight They're pretty much just straight emulating it like wholesale. They're not changing anything. They're not boosting FPS or anything like that. It's just straight up how it was originally, and it's going to drop FPS the same as it did on the original hardware. Another good example for that, and this is notorious for anybody who knows it, Donkey Kong 64 was also notorious for low FPS. Reggie, you know this, don't you?
Spent way too much time playing Donkey Kong 64.
But you know how bad the frame rate can be in that game.
But yeah.
And to be so was Perfect Dark.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No, Perfect Dark. Another example. That stuff will be
I would say the N64 Donkey Kong required so much power they actually came out with a power pack.
Yep.
The
yellow joint. Was it yellow or red?
Red.
It was red.
Red. Yeah.
Yeah, because they also used it for Majora's Mask as well. But again, like I said,
I got the
and
power
Superman
pack
64.
The upgrade, man. That was the first.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought that garbage ass game.
But
that was the first mid-gen upgrade that we ever had. Was that?
Honestly, yeah, you might be right about that. Well, what about the 32X?
No, yeah, that was before as well. That was because even before then even before then was the Sega CD.
Yeah, I had the Sega CD.
Oh, yeah,
Nights.
CD.
Was it Nights?
But even before that, we had the Nintendo. We had the NES CD.
I don't remember that.
With Rob.
It was not Rob. It was Japanese only. It was a disc system.
Yeah.
The NES disc system. Now you remember it.
Were those
I did have a Sega CD.
Like that's like a
I
totally
did
new
have one.
system when you do that. When
My
you,
buddy
when
had
you
one.
require a new.
No, because it did. No, because it did. Well, kind of, but it did require the base console to use it. But yeah, like I said, all of these issues might still be there with these N64 games on the Switch, because they just rip them on wholesale. They don't seemingly improve them. Like what you should be expecting is the Super Mario 64 levels of care in these games, which, as we all know, was fucking nothing. Remember when they released that in the with Galaxy and Sunshine? Was it, Reggie?
Yeah, I own that
for the anniversary.
Yeah, that is the level you should go into expecting with these N64 games on the Switch. And then the last thing I think with this is the big topic. Bayonetta 3 is finally happening. I'm so happy. And looking into it more, Reggie, the new style makes sense when you think about this is not the Bayonetta we know. This is Cereza, as in the younger Bayonetta who was taken back, who was put forward in time in the first game and then put back to her original timeline by Bayonetta in the first game as well.
I was seeing that, and that's why she has that hairstyle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which would
so when I said it was an artistic choice, and you were talking censorship,
No,
don't get Omar started. Here we go.
No, I am talking
here's the thing.
censorship for something else,
Oh, okay.
He's
and I will
saying-
make my point after that.
No, you won't. Here's the
Fuck
thing.
off.
No, I won't.
Dante, go ahead,
you
man.
seem, you seem to already have one foot out of the door with a new podcast anyway. So I think you're already there before I am.
Finish your point, my G.
Yeah. And honestly, with some of the things that we saw, it does seem weird because it seems like she's tapping into a completely different power. Because in the trailer with because if you also remember do you remember that first beast that she brought out, Reggie? That was the beast, the big dinosaur one. Yeah. That she killed that in Bayonetta 2.
Right, I remember from Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, so it seems like we're dealing with time travel shenanigans again. Damn it, I thought we were over this. But also, when she summons them, the mark that appears on her back was never actually a thing in the original. That's all new. And looking into the censorship, by the way, I'd just like to point this out, seeing as Omar is going to go on his little diatribe, or excrement, should I say, is originally they wanted to change it up in Bayonetta 2. They actually wanted to kind of lean back on that in Bayonetta 2, but Nintendo was basically like, no, go push the envelope further, apparently. So it isn't Nintendo censorship, if anything else.
Okay. I want Omar to elaborate on this. I know Dante just covered it. You're talking about this censorship.
I am talking about censorship in the sense of, and mind you, I don't give a fuck about it. I just want let me explain my point.
Go ahead.
I just want to focus on the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
When there's censorship on PlayStation side, everyone jumps on it. But when on Nintendo side, cricket. So, when it comes to Bayonetta, I noticed directly she is not getting naked. Well, 3/4 naked. How she always does when she summons a very large monster. That's number one. Number two, blood is now green instead of red. Like Nintendo, what you're doing. And yeah, that's my point when it comes to
Do you not understand the platform that Nintendo is?
Hold on, let me counter argument that with.
Let's talk about that, shall we? Bayonetta 2 had the same exact thing as Bayonetta 1. Blood and sexuality. So now, do you understand what Nintendo is? Censorship.
Get him,
You're
Omar.
welcome.
Yes, because they are catered to children.
I'm sorry, I gotta
get him, Omar.
I literally just told you that Nintendo was all for this in Bayonetta 2, so why would they suddenly 360 on this with Bayonetta 3? They're the ones who were all for. They were the ones who were pushing for Platinum Games to keep all the stuff from Bayonetta 1 in Bayonetta 2. So how the hell are you saying that this is Nintendo doing this? Are you saying they did a complete 180, saying, oh no, with Bayonetta 2 it was okay she gets half naked and the blood is red, but in this, no, she can't be.
So
if the demographics of your system,
I mean, there's new leadership though.
Children,
there's new leadership though, Pharaoh. We gotta keep it a buck. So, I mean, Nintendo's under new leadership now, right? So if go ahead, Reggie. I was waiting. Go ahead, Reggie.
One thing is
that's
like,
that Mortal Kombat again on the 64, green blood.
We haven't seen for the sexuality thing. We haven't seen enough to determine yes or no. I don't understand where that's coming from.
Her summon, apparently.
Coming from Omar. That's where it's coming from.
But as me and Dante just said, like, this is a whole different person. So like, it's not even the same Bayonetta who we know from 1 and 2. So like, you don't really have enough information to, I think, fully claim the censorship yet, because you don't know. You're making assumptions based off a trailer, which we all know you shouldn't be doing, right? Like, we all know that shouldn't be happening. So I don't
I will
necessarily
wait
know
until
about
the
that.
final game comes out. And if it stands
censored,
correct,
it's
I will
Nintendo.
stand
I
correct.
expect
If
nothing
not,
less.
I will admit I was wrong. I have no issue with that.
Fair enough. Fair
If I
enough.
wanted a game that was fully uncensored,
enough.
I would play it on PC.
That's
if
fair.
I'm playing it on
Nine.
Nintendo,
Well-
I have expectations. If I'm playing on Xbox
But
or PlayStation.
Pharaoh, Nintendo doesn't Nintendo have these like dating simulator type of games where you like play with the like I don't know what they call it here, like voyeur or looking under people's underwears and shit like that.
Maybe regionally, I don't know. Do they have
Right,
that
that's
stuff here?
They have it in Japan, but they have those games.
Okay, but you cater to your demographic depending on. That's why it's in that region versus not being in this region.
I'm not sure if it. I'm not into the Nintendo ecosystem like that.
Like
Reggie would know more than me.
Like kid and adult play Switch in Japan, right? So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different.
So
I also I don't like the idea. One, I think I've been occasionally wandering into spaces and like I keep seeing this thing pop up. I really don't like this idea of like quote unquote fairity that we keep trying to push about like, oh, you did it, so then I did it, but they did it also, right? Like that to me, that's such a childish thing. Like Pharaoh has children. Like I promise you, he's heard that a million times, like in one day.
Yeah.
About like, well, I want some juice. Well, you let him have some juice. I told you no. Like everything's not going to be fair. Stop coming at me with a childlike argument about, well, how come when PlayStation does it, it's a thing, but when Nintendo does it, it's not a thing? Because it is. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's not going to be fair.
Yeah.
And no one's fair when it comes to systems. Like when it comes to other things, you aren't fair for that. You want, if you say you don't care about this specific genre, but you like games, right? So like, shouldn't you be fair to all games? To at least give it a shot?
I want to piggyback on what Reggie's saying in that. It's like we give shit to Nintendo a lot, like when it comes to pricing and stuff. But Nintendo, unfortunately, it is what it like. They're in their own lane. Like they get judged by them, like to themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it is.
Outside of the Wii U, they can't do no.
But I'm saying it is what it is. Like you can't like you're just like why is Nintendo doing that?
Here is what my biggest issue. It's Nintendo fuckers that complain about PlayStation censorship.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
That's my biggest issue.
All right,
I don't. You know I don't believe that because most of the people I see you interact with, Omar, are Xbox people. But and yes, also, why do you care what other fanboys are complaining about? You've been in this game for a long time. You know they're gonna have unreasonable, unfair, foolish expectations.
Yeah.
But if they were 100% real, then we wouldn't have quote unquote console wars, right?
That's
like
true.
we wouldn't have the various personas in this industry, from like personas to the Xbox dudes to like the indie gamers. Like we wouldn't split up their personas if everybody was equal on one board.
And also, here's the thing: his entire focus is on this game. This is what triggered this. Like he'll try and bring up other ones, but his entire focus is on this one. Here's the thing: we have no idea if Nintendo was behind any kind of censorship with this. But he wants to keep saying that people bring it up with PlayStation. We have tangible proof that multiple times PlayStation has had direct involvement with games being censored.
With the PlayStation one, it's a little bit more obvious because there'll be a game that's on another platform and the scenes are different. Like that's like you're with Bayonetta, you're going off itself.
But it's the same with you. But then you could bring up the whole fucking thing with Japan because games get censored dramatically in like Resident Evil 2 remake
and regions and region censorship is a thing too.
It's not just consoles; it's also regions.
Go ahead.
So for all we know, because here's the thing. So here's the thing: if there is censorship, because you got to remember, even though it was the Nintendo Direct and it was on their American show, we don't know if that censorship is because it was shown. It was all in Japan. Like all of this was cut, edited, and basically shot for a Japanese audience. That's why all the dialogue's in Japanese, and then everything is dubbed in afterwards. We don't know if that's the Japanese version that we were watching.
Here's my final point about this topic, and I will move on from it. My thing, I was genuinely surprised that all these quote-unquote censorship haters not even mentioned one time about Bayonetta. So I just wanted to highlight about that. I just want. I was genuinely surprised that no one said anything about it, because if you're genuinely against censorship, I am against censorship, then you would be irritated when a company does it.
Yeah.
But doesn't that circle back?
If you are against censorship, then get a PC, because that's the only place where you're not going to have to deal with a platform holder possibly
I
censoring
mean,
a game.
Bayonetta is not going to be on PC. I'm actually going to be a Switch.
Again, like I said, his whole crux is on Bayonetta.
Hold on, Reg. You had a statement.
Everything makes it to PC one way or another.
Because I thought that, like, at least we firmly established, at least you said, you know, if I'm wrong, then I will be wrong and I will take that, which means you're acknowledging that you don't have all the information.
Yeah.
So it's
I
weird
have what
to say.
I'm seeing.
Right, but it's just a trailer, so you really don't know yet, right? And that's fair. It's fair to say I don't know yet. You're a big person on just wait and see, which just feels like a wait and see thing. So why would you be surprised when people aren't having knee-jerk reactions to something they don't know about yet?
Yeah. We'll just look. We could revisit this topic when it comes to that, and then because we have talked about censorship a lot, and to Omar's point, he is right. Like, we got to keep it a buck. If there is viewing of censorship, then we have to say it. Unfortunately for me, I'm not that big into Nintendo. I don't really care what they do, but if Nintendo gamers which I've seen some of them talk about censorship on PlayStation and how they come at them. So that is true what Omar is saying. So I have to back him there.
Like, I was genuinely expecting people to be outraged about this.
But again, the game hasn't come out yet. We have to see.
It doesn't matter. When just a trailer, it should be enough for people to think how they think. That's how they always act.
That's
like
that's not.
You
have to wait for the game.
We're watching the Japanese version.
Yeah, you gotta wait, man. You gotta wait.
I'm gonna wait. I wanna cover a little bit about this event.
Good.
I'm curious. No one talked about that Chocobo racing game. Anyone know if it's exclusive or not?
Chocobo racing.
Yeah, Chocobo racing. It wasn't labeled on what I was looking at. Chocobo.
You think Nintendo dished out the cash for that?
Nintendo didn't. They kind of blurred the line. What's exclusive, what's not.
If it was exclusive, they would have said exclusive.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I'm looking it up.
Seamus, Metroid. They didn't say exclusive, despite the fact that we know
because it's their IP. They don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
That's like Xbox saying, "Yeah, we gotta say Halo's fucking exclusive." Like
same for PlayStation and God of War. Like
we know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but in defense, they didn't turn around and say when they showed fucking Voice of Cars, they didn't turn around and say it was exclusive either. But we kind of assumed until I saw that it was actually on Steam the other day.
Well, which I get that because it's Squaresoft or it's Square Enix, and
this is Square Enix.
Yeah. So
Chocobo Racing is Square Enix.
Yeah. So is Voice of Cards.
Yeah,
for that matter,
we don't know if this is exclusive, but by looks of everything that I'm finding, yes, it will be exclusive. Which to what I turn around and said to Reggie on the day. Release time.
No, I mean, or at least time, because Ocarina, the one game that Square Enix made that was on Octopath Traveler was exclusive for a while, and then it was on Xbox.
Honestly, I never know how Squaresoft does with Nintendo, because like Bravely Default is only Nintendo with Switch.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. But who thought Octopath wasn't gonna? I thought it was gonna be exclusive. So Square Enix and
I did too.
They're a little weird with their games, man. They're
generally weird. Yeah.
Would another kart racer do well on the other systems? Like,
we turned around and said this, Reggie.
That's a good question.
It's like Square Enix peeked their head into the Nintendo office, saw they weren't doing anything with any kart races, and then thought, we can finally release one, boys. We can finally release one into the wild, and they ain't got nothing to stop us with. Quickly get it out before they announce Mario Kart 9.
Yeah, I guess now it's time to do it.
Yeah, I would say the kart racer home would be Nintendo. Like that's where most of the guys who do play kart races would be on, and maybe I guess PlayStation because there's a big Square Enix fan base there for Final Fantasy. But
if you're not Sonic Team Racing is actually a pretty solid.
Yeah, I heard that was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had the Crash Bandicoot racer too, didn't they? Like recently.
I never played that one though, so I don't know how it was. But you're right, they did. Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't know. That's a good question. I have zero clue where Chocobo Race is going to wind up.
It is an exclusive.
It is. Okay.
Well, I'm reading on it. During the Nintendo broadcast on September 23rd, 2021, new Chocobo Racing sequel, Chocobo GP, was unveiled for the Nintendo Switch and is as an exclusive title. It will launch in 2022.
Okay, thank you.
Let's shift some gears here because I want to talk about this, and I actually want to go back. I want to go back to Omar on this. So I think it was last week. The Initiative, Xbox first party studio, they're the one that they're building from the ground up, are the makers of Perfect Dark. Their first game will be Perfect Dark, and they are outsourcing, or I'm not exactly sure if Farrell, you got to back me up, but are they co-developing or are they outsourcing
Perfect
Dark?
Co-developing.
What I'm reading is more like a partnership.
Partnership, okay.
Yeah.
Then,
they're co-developing.
So let me lay the question for you. So, based on this news, and I put down the title "Perfect Dark Dev Troubles." Like, do you think Perfect Dark is gonna be? Is there issues there? Like, what's your overall take behind this? Because I know your Sony brother and obviously gonna go take it in a certain direction.
I'm going away from the culture war for this one.
Okay. For this one. Go ahead.
I don't think the game is in trouble. I mean, the game is 3 years into development.
Yeah.
So they understand, where they are and what they need, and they reached out to a company that they have a growing relationship with.
Not growing, that they know. I mean, the guy worked there.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about...
Go ahead, Omar. Go ahead. I want to hear your take, because I know you posted this.
First of all, I looked up what Crystal Dynamics have created a la first-person shooter. And the only game that I came across was one in 2005, I think. Around 15 years ago. Okay? Around. So it could be 12, it could be 10. I need to look it up again. I have it while I talk. And so to me, that simply doesn't make sense to ask them for help. Why?
It makes perfect sense when they're the ones who are the ones behind the Lara Croft IP.
It does not make sense.
And they're dealing with another female hero.
Hold on.
They not need help with the first person shooter, first person aspects of it.
It does not.
You're assuming that they need help with the shooter aspects of it. They need help with the shooter aspects of it. They have a million.
They're not gonna need help for that because they have
party shooter developers.
Yeah, they have a lot. Yeah. I mean, they got Bethesda.
They just bought Cinema.
Yeah.
They have the developers behind Doom.
Yep.
And they have the developers behind what's their name?
Arcane. You got Machine Games.
Machine Games, Arcane.
That lets you know that's not what they're going to Crystal Dynamics for help with. They're going to Crystal Dynamics for help with something specific.
Most likely environmental.
I would look at the things that they've done with the Tomb Raider franchise.
Yes. All right, just
for why they went to help, not because they need help with first-person shooter development.
Farrell, let me
fine in that camp.
Yeah, let me interject real quick. Just give some backstory with Omar. So the studio head for Initiative is Daryl Gallagher. He was the studio head for Crystal Dynamics when they rebooted Tomb Raider. Like he was it was his team who rebooted Tomb Raider to make it. It was a pretty damn good game. So now what's their mission now with the Initiative with this game? They're rebooting Perfect Dark. So a female protagonist. It's not just a first-person shooter. She's a spy. So there's gonna be different elements. It's not gonna be like a run and gun thing. It's more.
Isn't it supposed to be a third person? This game's gonna be third person.
No, it's first person.
We don't know.
No,
yet.
it's first person.
We saw a CGI
No, I thought it was third
trailer,
person.
and we're
No,
making
it's first. I believe. Oh, you're right.
First person.
We're making
First
assumptions,
person.
but it looked like it was
First
first
person.
person.
According to the, I'm just saying, according to the
Yeah.
official wiki, Perfect Dark is an upcoming first-person shooter game that is in development by the Initiative and Crystal Dynamics and published by Xbox Game Studios.
Gotcha. So with Omar saying like, why would they get a first for first person? I understand what he's coming from, but it's not based on that. It's mainly based on helping them help reboot a female protagonist, just like Lara Croft with Joanna Dark, very similar. And Daryl Gallagher is already familiar with the team at Crystal Dynamics because he just led the team to create Tomb Raider or reboot it. So that's kind of where it is. So anyway, I'm going back to you. So
can I just point in? I honestly think I don't think it's got anything to do with the fact that she's a female protagonist. I think, given Crystal Dynamics' backstory, given with the Tomb Raider games, it's most likely one of two things. One, environmentals, because this game, apparently from the premise that has been put out there already, is going to be doing with ecological disasters.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna ask a team out there that's ready to do it, to work on like changing weather dynamics and landscapes and shit, I'm going to ask Crystal Dynamics because they did really well. Or they could also be asking for help with a PC port as well, because Crystal Dynamics, I believe, did all of the Tomb Raider games and pretty much all the games since then in-house on PC.
There you go. So back to you, Omar.
So my thing is, when you type yourself as quadruple A studio, even though I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's not real.
And then you proceed then to say we're partnering with Crystal Dynamics. It genuinely makes you question: did Microsoft underestimated
shoot themselves in the foot with their wording of saying that they're
yes,
quadruple.
also, but more also underestimated this. Maybe they expected the initiative to have way more personnel, because from what I've read, the initiative got only 70 personnel or something like
75, I think.
Yeah.
Why would Xbox expect more personnel and not get it? Like, you mean the initiative expected more personnel and didn't get it? Because if Xbox wanted more personnel, the initiative, they would have went and got more personnel.
So then, why would you give a task to a studio with so low personnel and with such a behemoth task, and even add to it the quadruple A studio?
All right, hold on. I gotta interject there. So, I thought it was the case too. Hold on, Pharaoh. So the quadruple A thing is not actually real. That was a job posting, and apparently that was a typo from Rand, El Thor, and stuff like that, and other people saying it. That's not, because if you look at their actual video, they never mentioned quadruple A. They never mentioned it. The actual video Daryl Gallagher put out. So when he was talking about the team, they want to be small and focused. Like, these guys are like experienced developers. He never mentioned quadruple A. He was talking about triple A stuff, because there's no such thing as a quadruple A. The A's are all based on financial backing of your game, how much money you could put in. The triple A's, like the Naughty Dogs, the Rockstars, the initiative's going to be up there when it comes to budget. That's all that means. So people are running with if you're a quadruple A, why can you not make the game by yourself? Most developers can't, most developers outsource. Look, like Naughty Dog had how many fucking developers? 14?
Yeah, they outsource. So they don't have a partnership like this.
It doesn't matter, bro. I'm gonna ask you, do you want a good game or not? It doesn't fucking matter how it gets done. They can do whatever the fuck they want with their games and their studios. If that's what they want to throw their money at, that's what the fuck they're gonna do. And if we get a better product at the end of the day, why are we bitching and complaining about it? It doesn't fucking matter.
And that's the problem with that.
The problem with that quadruple A thing is, as well as the fact that Ubisoft also perpetuated that with Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Skull and Bones.
Yeah. Yep. It's a mark. It's all about budget. And then that was my second thing. Like, I saw other Xbox guys kind of freaking out about this, talking about like, whoa, what's going on? And then again, they kind of doubled back or dialed it back once they spoke to other guys.
Why wouldn't you go to a studio that just revived a series that hasn't been relevant in fucking years in Tomb Raider?
It makes sense.
And it did a damn good job of doing it. Like you also have to understand, like, Microsoft doesn't have like a whole bunch of like female heroines. You know, PlayStation has Aloy from, you know, Horizon and shit. Like they have history with female, like a major female lead in multiple games, and you can't say that Microsoft really has that. So, like I said, I'm not surprised that they're getting help.
That shouldn't be I'm sorry.
No, I don't agree with that.
Away from the whole being a female lead. That shouldn't. I staunchly believe that has nothing to do with the fact that Crystal Dynamics. We
don't know. We don't know.
I know, and I'm spitballing, but I staunchly believe that has nothing to do with it. This to me comes down to a technical level. If they are partnering on it, that means that they are doing more than just like working on like how do we write this character properly. Because if anything, if you have the director of the reboot actually heading this game, you have what you need right there, as well as because like it doesn't. Here's the thing: it doesn't matter if she's male or female. Good story writing is good story writing. So like it shouldn't matter. And plus, they got Rhonda Cox from like God of War as a producer as well. This is why I said this. I staunchly believe this has nothing to do with the fact that she's a female character. This all comes down to a technical level. They are asking for technical help and partnering for technical help and technical assets for this game.
I have a question. Do you think that Crystal Dynamics can have not per se free reign, but what's it called? I fucking had that in my creative, not per se freedom, but more like impact that are able of tell initiative.
Because again, like I said, if they are being brought in for technical expertise or for help on weather design and AI mapping for like dynamic weather, which is where I believe this is leading, then they're just being contracted to help with that, nothing else.
And I guess I would say, because I see what Omar's thinking about the creative thing, because my thought was, what I know about Crystal Dynamics is that they made a pretty solid story based around Lara Croft.
They did.
No, 3 was dog shit.
3 was dog shit.
The first 2 were. 3 was terrible, but like they did make a good story until they messed it up.
They only did Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I don't know who did that.
No, they did Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the second one. Rise of the Tomb Raider was the third.
No.
Yeah, you sure about that?
No, check out.
I thought Rise was
I
Rise
think you
was the
get
first.
reversed.
No,
Rise was the second.
Then Rise of the Tomb Raider. Then Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
So Shadow's third.
I got a mixed around either way. The first one sucks, the second one
just hold on, Rez. Rez, just to interject, Daryl Gallagher was only there for the first 2, I believe. So
the good ones.
Yeah, he was. So in other words, he wasn't there for the bad one, and then he's there. He's leading this reboot. So I
mean, you also got to think graphically. That third one is dope. It's just not as good as.
Which again leads to me saying,
that happens when you lose writers.
The woman is not the crutch.
Yeah, and now that I think about that, now I can see what you mean as far as the technical help. I can see.
And another note, if you look at the wiki, that's a new version. Okay, I got you.
So go ahead, Reggie.
I don't see Shadow of the Tomb Raider under Crystal Dynamics.
No, it is. Not only it's literally in their what's called what their creators.
This was when Crystal Dynamics was falling apart. They were developers on it. So was IDOS Montreal, Nixus, and Software VR.
Yeah.
Again,
Farrell's
Crystal
right.
Dynamics.
This is IDOS. IDOS Montreal did this.
Yeah, but like I said, and again, leading to what I've been saying, Crystal Dynamics has been helping more on technical sides than anything else. That is why I believe they're there for technical expertise.
Yeah, good call. Good call, Farrell.
You know, for argument's sake.
Yeah, I mean, he was saying it.
For argument's sake, let's give him one anyway, because like they did do Avengers.
Yeah, which is ass.
Sucks in that.
No,
Yeah,
they didn't. No.
Crystal Dynamics did do it.
I thought they did Avengers.
So did I. Yeah. No, hold on. So did Eidos Montreal. So did Crystal Northwest. So did Nixus Software, and so did Square Enix Europe. Again,
what the fuck?
They most likely helped with the technical aspect. This is what I keep trying to. This is why I've been saying this. Crystal Dynamics
they're listed as a developer.
Yeah, they listed
Marvel's Avengers.
No, they are listed as a developer, but they're one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. They're one of 5 developers behind that fucking abomination. I should say abortion, actually.
They're still a part of it.
Like I see.
Because if we're going to include them in their successes, we got to include them in their failures as well.
Yeah.
That's fair. Absolutely throw them in their failures. But what I'm trying to say is, if you look at their body of work and the pattern that makes sense on why they'd be brought on board for something like this, it would most likely be technical help given their current and past history.
Which I don't think they'll have an issue with this. Like I said, they had Daryl Gallagher, so the story and all that's not going to be the problem.
That's what I was saying. Like, to Omar's point, like the story, because Perfect Dark sort of floundered under the shadow of GoldenEye, which was nothing. But Perfect Dark had a pretty solid story. Joanna Dark is a fully realized character, who like has agency and wants and needs. Like, it would behoove the team at Xbox or the team at Initiative to make sure they kind of nail that part.
Because like Rare, so I'm sure they'll be like, listen, I'm sure they'll be all right when it comes to that.
If anything, they've probably already written the story. Like, they've probably already got like this, like the main plot beats and everything of the story written down already, if not already written.
So I wouldn't necessarily say like they have freedom of creative control in the same way, Miyamoto can come in and say make Kirby pink instead of blue, but like, if you're a collaborative effort, particularly if you're from an artistic perspective, like it's the word is collaborative. So it's like, hey, I had this idea about this. Well, what if we did this instead? Yeah, and like that's the way I look at it, is how it's like they're collaborating. It's not one person coming in and saying, all right, here's what needs to be done.
But that's Reg, I was going to say the final say would be Daryl Gallagher. He's the head of the studio. So if Crystal Dynamics, like, if you do it like this, and they're like, nah, I just need this to look like that.
Yeah, but a good company recognizes good ideas.
Yeah,
and
of course.
A good company also isn't going to try to bust in the door and say, all right, everything needs to be changed, unless, like, it was broken.
Right.
And as far as we know, Perfect Dark doesn't seem to be broken. They just seem to have been like, all right, we're going to collab with this team because we want some things to, look better, run better, be better. So, I agree with Jube. It does feel like a lot of nothing.
Well, you know how Twitter is, man. But the thing is though, this will be targeted if the game comes out ass. Like, because if it comes out ass, then the initiative.
Who are you gonna blame?
It's the initiative. You're gonna get some.
Blame the people who made the game.
Yeah, you're gonna get heat.
No, you bet your dollars Xbox fanboys are gonna blame Crystal Dynamics.
No, you can't blame them.
You can fucking try, but
you can't blame Crystal Dynamics.
Not gonna be on their fucking side.
That's like. I was going on first. That's like with Naughty Dog having the 14 studios and 2,000 developers to help make the rope physics type of shit, right? Are you gonna blame? Oh, fucking Dak. You're gonna blame the game on, like, if you didn't like the game, you're gonna blame it on the other developers, or you're gonna blame Naughty Dog? It's still Naughty Dog's game. They're the one who wrote the story and the plot. These other guys are the ones who did the CGI and all the other shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't blame Crystal Dynamics. It's not their fault. They're there to assist. This is still Initiative's game.
Hold that energy for if in case anything momentously goes wrong with Thor Ragnarok, because then all the Sony fans will just blame Valkyrie Studios.
They can't do that. They can't do that. They can't do that either.
I can't believe the irony of that. I can't believe the irony of all that went over.
Thank you, Dante. Exactly. Like, Ragnarok's also being made by other developers. That's a common thing, but no one's calling foul for that. So.
And Omar tried to interject saying, who's going to blame them for that? Then who the fuck is going to blame Crystal Dynamic for Perfect Dark's failure?
Nobody.
That fucking question could be leveled at you. But again, sorry, I just want to bring that up live to everybody.
Go ahead.
Can we just talk about the beautiful fucking irony of that, by the way? That a game about Norse mythology is being aided in development by a studio called Valkyrie.
That's kind of cool.
Can we just please acknowledge the fucking irony in that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, end of the day, we have to wait and see. As always, I'm thinking the game's still gonna be good. This is the studio. By outside of that, has a lot of experienced developers. So even though they have 75, a smaller developer, they're not the same as say a Double Fine or a smaller studio. You know what I mean? Like the Pixel Opus. If I'm going with PlayStation, these guys are veteran leadership. So if you get
Dragon brings up a good point in chat. Sorry, Dragon brings up a good point in chat.
Let me see. Which one is he?
Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. What was he trying to say?
Back in the PlayStation 2 era, Naughty Dog and Insomniac Games worked together on their developed Jack and Dexter and Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, see, it's common practice, man. And like that's what I saw. I didn't really want to like go into detail, but it's something we have to come across because it's the thing that people are gonna.
People just need eviscerating, basically.
Listen,
I guess
like they need that Dark Souls Bloodborne evisceration attack.
I guess it's the same with Nintendo and Ubisoft when they did Kingdom. Mario Rabbids Kingdom.
Yeah. There's an example right there. I heard the Rabbids game are good. It's good though.
The Rabbids good. No,
I've
the
never
first
played
one's
it. I've never played it.
actually.
Yeah, I've never played it.
The second one's got some questionable things in it that I just wish would die in a fucking fire.
Yeah, so
but it's a solid strategy game.
Fair enough. But again, we'll wait and see. That game's probably not gonna be out for a while. I'd probably take 2 more years. Do you think? So 2024.
I believe 3 because they said they're in early development.
Oh, 25?
It can't take too long.
They said they are in early development.
That's gonna be a long time, dude.
The thing with Xbox is because they have so many studios.
They don't need to rush it. They don't need to rush it.
As long as they're giving you games in between. They can as much time.
Yeah, but that's true. But
hear you. But I want Perfect Dark, man.
I do too. I want to see it.
It's not just that, but it's also like it's also you gotta kind of work up to the fact of like how long ago was this announced? Like 2 years ago?
3 years ago? 2018, right? Or 19?
It was announced it was announced last year. It was revealed just last year.
Oh, it was revealed last year. Yeah, it was revealed last year.
Yeah, so like
yeah, so it's early. So 2025. Yeah, 24, 25.
And people like for better or worse have been hyping up the initiative as like all this. And only like last year did they announce anything, and if they take any more longer, people are gonna start like looking at it sideways. So like they like if anything, they need to keep what they need to do is they need to keep people updated regularly. Like they need to be the first ahead of news.
Look at it sideways is if Xbox's other games don't come through. If Xbox keeps hitting you with 5 to 7 first-party IPs every year, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for this first to come out."
Absolutely big difference. A lot of these IPs are proven IPs or by proven studios. This is the initiative's first game.
Right.
Yeah, and
it doesn't matter. You can have a fucking amazing team. You can have all the best people, but just because you've got all the best people doesn't mean that they're gonna create magic.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll
see. I think the game will be fun.
Games to play in between.
Yeah,
it's gonna fall on the back burner. People will be like, when it comes out, it comes out.
Yeah,
but that's like the worst thing that could happen, in my opinion. Especially when you put so much hype behind this studio.
Yeah.
And like all of that shit, you give them such a legendary fucking IP, one of the best first-person shooters ever. And you tout that you've got all of this
talent,
veteran team behind it, for it just to fall by the wayside is one of the worst things that can ever happen.
I don't think it. I mean,
what can happen is it drops and it doesn't do well.
Yeah,
it drops in this game of the year quality, but it comes out 2025.
There you go.
Even if it
then
came
it's
out
worth
2026,
it. Then it's worth it.
Yeah, no one cares. You care when the product comes out and it doesn't meet expectations. Yeah.
Like a Cyberpunk. You know what I mean?
For me, best way to describe it for me, this is a situation is if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it still make a sound kind of thing? Like, will this make a sound if everybody forgets about Perfect Dark until it finally releases, and then everybody's hearing, oh, it's actually really good, but then you've got like 20 or like 10 other games to play, and you're like, maybe I'll get it some other time, or I'll just put it on the back burner, and then it just keeps going.
That is Game Pass.
Pass, yeah, I fucking knew you were gonna bring that up.
I mean,
but Game Pass also accentuates that damn problem because you've got even more games because they're so fucking cheap.
That's true, but you got to realize again, like this studio is propped up to be on the same type of caliber when it comes to money that Microsoft is dishing to a 343. So it's gonna be pushed.
Yeah, everyone in their mama that has Game Pass is gonna at least download.
Oh, there's no, yeah, but again, my point isn't the fact that they're not gonna push it. My point is that like there needs to be some breathing room for when this game comes out for people to actually want to play it. Otherwise, they're just going to be swamped by.
I agree.
I've got these 10 other games on the back burner that I want to play. I'm just going to put Perfect Dark off.
We'll see.
Like they will. Perfect Dark again. Perfect Dark is the perfect example, pun intended, of the game you want people to play. Like you want everybody to fucking play the day of release, because again, unproven studio, and this could be the beginning of a brand new running IP for them. If Perfect Dark does really well in metrics and numbers, like you could see a Perfect Dark 2 announced maybe like a year and a half later.
Yeah, they already have the groundworks for it.
I think this is a game that if it does well, I think it will do well. That this is what will get the initiative to double in size.
I agree.
One good game.
Oh, that's.
I agree. Yeah, they're definitely gonna increase after the first one for sure.
Oh, I agree, but again, it comes down to the metric success of it.
Yeah.
Again, which is what I'm saying, which is why if Microsoft is smart, they will put this out. They will put this out like maybe a couple of months after they've released something. Like say they release something, a first party game that year. They need to give it at least 5 months, maybe 4 or 5 months before they release Perfect Dark, so people have digested that exclusive that came out this year, so that they can just jump headfirst into this game.
Yeah, I mean,
the Game Pass beast is that it works. It needs to be fed.
It does. It needs to be fed monthly, but their whole what Microsoft's been touting is one AAA game every quarter. So we'll see.
Yeah. At least one AAA per quarter.
Yeah, at least. Let's move on to the last topic, and it's about games that you're excited for. Not too many people talk about games that they're either playing right now that you're excited for, or just in general. So I'm gonna go to my guy, Reggie, man. The games that you are either playing now that you're excited for and want to talk about a little bit, or something that you or in the future can't wait to play.
Well, guys, there's this excellent little game from this very small indie studio called Supergiant Games. They created just a fantastic game called Hades.
Not that. We just talked about Hades before, man.
But it is a roguelike where you play as Zagreus.
A new game, motherfucker, or a newish game.
Mute this man. You have the power to serve him. Mute this man.
This man said Hades.
He got enabled after the whole situation with the Trials of Cold Steel.
That's true, man.
Yes. And you know, it just fueled me again once all the Xbox players got to play, and they were
good,
like, "This
though.
game's amazing." It's like, welcome
amazing.
to the side.
Yeah, it is amazing. I
mean, I can't say enough good things about Deathloop. Like, I think if you go into it, you know, it is not, you know, it's not gonna be Metal Gear.
It's a new experience. So Reggie, would you recommend it?
Oh yeah, Deathloop 100%. Okay. It's for people who like roguelites, like it's there. For people who like good writing, the dialogue between Colt and Juliana is fantastic.
I hear it's good. Yeah.
The characters are fun. You know, I'm a big person on aesthetic. The 60s are an amazing time to put this kind of set this place in, because it's all kind of spy stuff. There's that sort of BioShock feel to it about like
I hear that.
You know, once you start getting the powers, you're like a god in this space.
I hear BioShock vibes from other people too, so that's interesting.
Yeah, because you know the point of the game is to figure out. It's a puzzle. The entire point of the game is a puzzle
to break the loop.
And
right?
so, the point. So it's not like to beat the boss. It's about how do I break the loop, and like you break the loop by eliminating characters, and you have to figure out how you eliminate them all in one go.
Gotcha.
That's the like premise of the game. And so you study people, and you can choose your own path. It seems to be you can choose your own path on how to get it done.
Yeah,
because some people
that's from the Dishonored model. Like, you know, you could take any type of mission how you want to take it.
Yeah, it's like, some people don't show up in the morning. They just they're asleep. Like, I don't wake up in the morning. Like, I only operate on the evening time. Or some people throw big parties in the evening, so it's difficult to get to them. So you have to figure out how to do it all in one loop. I can't remember how many people this are. It's like 6 or 7. Outside of that, what I'm looking forward to, which should be coming soon, Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yep.
Absolutely can't wait. Really, a lot of RPGs. Because
November.
What about Arise?
October, sorry.
What about Tales of Arise, man? No love.
Yeah, Tales of Arise. I'm looking forward to that. I'm doing. I'm gonna be streaming my whole playthrough of that.
I've not gotten into the Tales.
What, you don't like Tales?
World.
I don't hate it.
Tales are. Play the demo.
All right.
Maybe I need to play the demo. Yeah.
It's not very long, but it gives you a taste of the combat, and it gives you a good feel for the team that you're going to end up having in the game.
Yeah, I heard the combat's much improved.
The combat is good. It's unique. Every player serves a function, and you got to make sure you keep certain characters alive because one's like a healer.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that. So, I like it.
Yeah.
The first 2 hours it's not really a lot of gameplay. It's a lot of like introducing you to the world and a lot of CG scenes and stuff like that. But it's cool.
Yeah, I think the last Tales I played was Tales of Eternia.
There is a demo for it if you wanna give it a go.
Yeah.
I'll download it.
The last Tales I played was Vesperia, dog. That's been a minute.
No, you should check out Tales of Arise. I mean, I know they got that weird DLC thing, but
Oh yeah, I remember that. I just play base game. I'll be good with that. Yeah. So otherwise,
what I'm saying, if you're not excited for a game, like if it's not a game that you really want, wait for it to come down to your price.
Also true. Yeah.
So very true.
I gotta get Guilty Gear because Jubei told me to get it, and it's the fighting game I want to get into. So like, I need to be in that space. And Voice of Cards. I've been playing a lot of this demo for Voice of Cards. I am kind of charmed by it. I think it's really clever. I don't remember when it drops, but like,
What game is that?
Voice of Cards. This is that Switch. I'm assuming Switch
the
exclusive?
card name. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what card game?
Voice of Cards.
Voice of Cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Switch and PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and PC. I'm utterly kind of charmed by it. So like, from what I've played so far, I'd at least say try the demo out.
Yeah, I already got it downloaded.
Yeah, and like, give it a shot. I've been enjoying it, and I played about 2 hours of it. And it's just like, it's cool. I think the same way that like in FC, because you play Bravely Default, where like you kind of approach it like, I don't know, and then you play it's like, I'm just into this.
Yeah, it
like,
gets addicting, man.
Yeah, and it's not a lot. It's just good at what it does, and like because of that, I'm just like, I'm just into this. I like this. This is fun.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Let me go to my guy Jubei, man. I know it's halftime now, so you can actually chime in.
Dragon Slayer just informed us. Voice of Cards is also on PlayStation, so it's not a PC. It's not a Switch exclusive. Then
there you go.
There you go. So
which one?
Voice of Cards is on PlayStation, so you probably
I said I already downloaded the demo.
That's true. Jubei, man, what games are you looking forward to, my G? Or what you're playing now, or something? What are you excited for?
What am I playing now? I just started Deathloop not too long ago. I'm like halfway through Kenna, whatever the fuck, however the fuck you say it. In between breaks of those two, I finished the Artful Escape yesterday.
Oh, I gotta get that. I gotta download that.
That is
too many.
I
don't know how y'all juggle so many games. I could barely do 2, bro.
I knocked it out in an afternoon, but like that was
not that
fantastic
long. All right,
game.
I gotta check it out. I hear it's good.
But not like no. So like it's all like music based, right? So it's basically like a rock space opera, and like the first like second solo, I actually shed a tear. Like,
Is that good?
I had my headphones in. It resonated. Like I just felt it. I felt the
Dante,
music.
you got to check that out, man. Mr. Rock and Roll.
Like,
all right,
like that shit was insane. So I'm actually happy that happened.
Nice.
Over the weekend. So, but yeah, that's it. I'm gonna finish Kenna and then see what I can do with Deathloop.
Roger that, man. All right. So, any games you're looking forward to in the future, though?
In the future, obviously, after playing this Flight, Halo.
She's talk about it. Halo is back. That shit is too good, man. I finally got my taste on it, man. And like, so on PC, there's some stuttering issues. But some games,
hold up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dragon Slayer, you are 100% right. Like I did say in our group chat, like that game is extremely safe, and I stand by that because it is. It doesn't do anything new at all. But
yeah,
it's cute. It's pretty to look at. So
Which is the whole
go ahead.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
go ahead. Pharaoh was saying something.
Which game?
He said Kenna's pretty safe.
Oh, I was saving the best for last, bro. This Halo multiplayer is it.
Period. No, it's the truth, man. I can't wait to I think I'm gonna get it on consoles because my PC. I know it's not supposed to be mine.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter though? It's on Game Pass. You're gonna.
Oh no, I'm gonna play it on both. But I mean, like primarily.
Multiplayer is free to play, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to pay anything.
It doesn't matter where you're gonna be at.
You can get washed on any system. It doesn't matter.
I'm not you, motherfucker.
Well,
you got me fucked up.
You can't get washed on. You can't get washed on PlayStation.
You got. Nah. But for real quick on, I don't want to spend too much time because there's gonna be another fight this weekend. Halo. All right. So with this Halo, to me, because it's a hybrid of like 5's movement to a degree, Halo 3's gunplay, and it's just
but
like
way more accurate.
Yeah, so it's a mixture of those two. So some of the best multiplayers, right? 3 and 5 is a mixture of that, and it's fucking perfect, basically. And
it has the aesthetic of one, like as far as like art style. So it's like a culminate. I mean,
it's
like,
more like two. It's more like two because they got the Hishibishi armor.
You're right. It's closer to 2, but
yeah,
it's like a perfect blend of the best parts of Halo. Multiplayer from over the years, pretty much.
In the sandbox, man, I'm just seeing some people's like gameplay. Like that one guy, he hijacked his ghost and he drove the ghost off the cliff, jumped out the ghost and fucking javelin or hooked onto the surface to get him back on. So it's like a Smash Brother move, you know what I mean? Like trick him, get him off, and then fucking use your double jump to get back on the stage. It was like that, and I'm like, all right, that's sick. And then the other different things you could do, like they have the repulsor where you could push yourself off the ground, and then like get you a height advantage for somebody hiding behind a rock on the other side. Like, come on, man, I can't wait.
Did you see old boy reflect the hammer?
No, you could
get the fuck out of
with
here.
With the repulsor. I
was like, yeah.
Oh, that's sick. See, I mean, like it's I don't know. I don't want to get in a long because that's a whole separate thing when it's come out. But from what I can tell, I can't wait because the campaign I think is gonna hit, man. Because the multiplayer is already there.
And it's looking this good in multiplayer graphically. Like,
that's what I mean.
I like that's why I'm sitting here drooling. Like, okay, what's this campaign actually gonna look like?
It's probably most likely gonna be the best shooter this Christmas because I hear Call of Vanguard's beta was trash. So
garbage. I mean, I'm still picking up Battlefield. So I'll be on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Battlefield too because I like Battlefield. But rest in peace, COD. But anyway, let me go to my guy, Pharaoh, real quick, man. Your games you're interested in?
Well, I just beat 12 minutes, and I think the game delivered on expectations, on my expectations. I mean, the gameplay mechanics were a little bit clunky, but I really did like the game. I like the multiple endings. I got like 3 or 4 of the different endings.
Nice.
I'm excited about Tales of Arise. Played that a little bit. The story is pretty interesting. And I am looking forward to Forza Horizon 5. I'm looking forward to it. I know first-person shooters are your thing. I'm going to test out Halo. I don't know if I'll do the multiplayer because I don't feel like getting washed by all y'all. But
man,
I'll
scared.
No, I'm not scared. It's just FPSs are not my thing.
No,
I
I
will do
feel
the campaign. I
I'm
will
not messing
enjoy
with
it. I might dabble. In the campaign in a little bit of multiplayer for the VGP.
you. Yeah,
Might do a little VGP multiplayer stream. But other than that, I'll do the campaign.
nice. All right, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. My guy Omar, man,
And
on the
plus, FPS suck your
bro.
life up.
It do.
You get into that it gets addictive, like that competitive gameplay. And if I get into that competitive gameplay, that's hours of my life gone.
Yeah, you got to mix it up, man. Omar, man, what you into, my G? Like, what games you interested in that are either you're playing now or in the future?
Yeah, I highly recommend Kena.
Solid
One of
game,
the
solid.
reasons is it's very unique. It's very fun to play. I love the game. First, first half is and not per se half. First place is introduction, but the next few areas is pure fun. It's pure chaos. It's pure fun bosses, unique bosses, and all around great game. I have a few gripes with that game though, like some like the quote unquote these cute little guys called Rot. They are all copy and paste of each other.
Yeah.
Like I really wish they were like the minions. They had their own character personalities and would uh, fight a little bit with each other. That would have added character to the game. Other than that is yeah, if you buy the game right now, you better not update your game because by patching it you lose the ability to do exploit if you care about platinum the game. Because what happened is you could finish the game at normal difficulty and then you use an exploit to finish it on the master difficulty, hardest difficulty, without actually needing it to finish the game second time.
Wow.
And yeah, and they patched it out right now. And yeah, I experienced two glitches on my first playthrough, and now one crash and two glitches on my second playthrough that I'm currently at. It's like glitches that you can easily get away with by simply reloading your game. Not save file, but just turning off your game and then turning back on. And yeah, other than that, PlayStation right now have 70% discount on Japanese games. I'm about to pick up East 9 and might also pick up Chocobo Dungeon. We'll see. And there's also this game called Asteria something that's coming next week.
At Astria Ascending or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
first preview of
Is that
the
not
game.
It's on Game
Yeah,
Pass.
go ahead.
It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it'll be on Game
It's
Pass.
on Game Pass. Yeah,
It's on PlayStation
Yeah.
as well.
yeah. First preview.
Yeah, but it's on Game Pass, so I
Doesn't-
just know I gotta hit the download
It-
button.
Is not painting it in a good light. But hey, I decide my own with my own two eyes what's good, what's not good.
Fair enough,
And
man.
yeah,
All right, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. And Dante, man. Last but not least, man. What games you looking forward to, man?
I don't look forward to games because I'm a miserable bastard. But if there's some that have definitely got my eye, Metroid Dread is definitely one of them. I need more Metroid in my life. That's definitely one. I'm hoping that the content and additional content for the Death Stranding Director's Cut comes to PC as well, because I'd actually like to get back to play that game on its highest difficulty soon. Aside from that, like, honestly, being the miserable fucker that I am, there's not really many outside of Metroid Dread that have got my serious interest. Actually, Shin Megami Tensei 5 has got my interest. So has Battlefield 2042. purely because of the portal mode that they're adding, because I like the idea of a big giant team of World War II soldiers going up against, or actually just a tank going up against a whole squad of robots, like little bomb disposal robots to see who can win. The meme factor is there for me, and I'm all about the memes.
There it is, man. So that pretty much wraps up the show. We're going to do our outro, man. We get the hell out of here. Dante, man, where people can find you, my G?
People can find me apparently in the Crucible, overlooking the Traveler, because no one decided to guess that I am currently in the world of Destiny.
I wasn't even looking at that. I should have known that.
I was gonna say,
yeah, I knew.
Jubei and Zero should have known that. Being the biggest Destiny fans,
he didn't ask. He didn't ask the question.
It was FC that asked the question.
I normally ask. I forgot.
Was I here when that question got asked?
No, I did not know. I normally ask it.
I figured somebody already got it, so I ain't saying
FC failed as usual.
It is.
FC, you have failed this podcast.
Hey man,
not just this city, but this podcast. Alright, yeah, you can find me at Dante Crisis on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, DLive, YouTube, and the Dante Crisis on Facebook. Tomorrow I'm going to be hopefully streaming Super Mario Brothers on the NES, on my Nintendo Switch, so that should be fun. Wednesdays I'm still going through Dark Souls 3. I'm going to be going into the first DLC after my massive struggle with the Nameless King, which that was pain. That was legitimately pain, but it was fun. I'm clearly a sadomasochist. Thursdays is Mass Effect 3 on Legendary Edition. Current Let's Plays are Borderlands, and what else have I got going? Borderlands and still Ori and the Blind Forest, but we do have Amnesia: The Dark Descent coming. We have Aliens Fireteam Elite coming, and we have the absolute finale of World War Z with the last 3 missions coming as well. So you've got all that to look forward to and more.
Nice. All right, man. Jubei, man, where people find you?
Yep. You can find me at Jubei Sensei on Twitter, at Jubei X Sensei everywhere else. You will also find me drinking these Eagles tears for the rest of the evening post podcast. Yeah, that's about it. I might actually replay The Artful Escape too. It was just that damn good.
That was that good, man. All right.
I know that music is fire.
You're a musician, so that makes sense, man. I definitely can't wait to try it out.
What is that on? Is it
It's on Game Pass.
Is it on PC too?
And PC, I believe, but it's also it's on PC Game Pass. It's definitely playable. It's accessible for whatever Game Pass costs.
It's good, man. I hear it's good, so I can't wait to try it. My guy Omar, man, where people find you?
People can find me @Karab_Job on Twitter. And yeah, check out my podcast if you're interested.
Saturdays, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir, man. Pharaoh, where people find you?
Pharaoh. All right, so like Jubei was saying about Game Pass, you should never pay more than $1 for Game Pass. If you do it smart, Microsoft Rewards is your best friend. And you can find me on Twitter at Pharaoh Bizarre, and you can find me streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I guess I'll have to throw the links in one of these days. But yeah, I'm not too hard to find. Land of Pharaoh on Twitch, and just look up Pharaoh Bizarre. Where else you'll find me?
Yes, sir, man.
Before the last person goes, I do need to also say, fuck R. Kelly, and also watch Star Wars Visions. It's fucking dope.
I gotta check out Star Wars Visions and definitely double on that. Last but not least, man, Reggie, where people find you?
Guys, as always, it's been a blast to be here. You can find me at 0x386 pretty much everywhere. Just looks like Xerox. Otherwise, of course, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Podbean, anywhere you hear people discussing the R. Kelly trial, and hopefully everyone else will also be including saying "fuck R. Kelly."
Yes, we got one of them. We couldn't get OJ, but we got R. Kelly.
Where
the thing is right now is there's literally probably somebody right now doing that to R. Kelly. So
oof. That's called karma.
I absolutely hope so, bro. His illiterate ass. I hope he's in there getting pounded, bro.
That's called karma.
Would someone not have bodyguard and protection?
Not in prison, you don't.
Nah, not for
There's no
him.
bodyguards and protection in prison.
Yeah,
I mean,
No.
When they cut off your money, no, his money's cut off. This is Fed time, so his money's done.
Yeah,
he has no access to his funds, bro.
Yeah, with money he'd have protection, but you're right. Yeah, his booty hole's taken for
like if this was like state, if this wasn't a federal thing, he'd have bread, but nah, feds cut you the fuck off.
Well, federal jail is kind of comfy.
Yeah, it can be comfy, but I mean, it also depends on what you're in for, bro.
No, he's screwed then.
He's getting fucked.
He's gonna be fighting for his life, like that.
I'm seeing imageries right now, and it's just not a good one. Let me Reggie, man.
Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and actually, like,
bro, fuck these Eagles. Pick 6. I'm done. I'm out. Let's go. They're garbage. They're fucking garbage.
Wait till
go check out
Kofi comes back.
Go check out Omar's podcast. Currently, the unnamed podcast. Next week, he will probably be having me on there, where we will discuss, which video game characters we think we can take in a one-on-one fight. So tune in.
Hey, I need in on that conversation for real.
So, and of course, thank you for liking us. You also let us know what video game character you think you can take one-on-one in a fight. Leave a comment anywhere on where we are.
That'd be a good actual topic, ain't gonna lie. But anyway, this is FC Violent. We are VGP, and always keep it gaming. We out of here. Peace.
Later.